What's up, Gunplum modelers? This is Strider Prime bringing you a new edition of Gundam Customs, and today I'm going to build this kit. The 1/100 scale Master Grade MS-06K Zaku Cannon Gundam Unicorn version, Principality of Zeon's middle range support mobile suit. This is, of course, from the Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn animated series. So, my third kit for my Summer of Zaku builds leads me to this, because a lot of you guys did say I should build this version of the Zaku Cannon, and not the other one, but not the other Zaku kit that I mentioned, the high mobility type. That's okay, because I will get to that once I'm done with this. And I have to admit, when I saw this, I said, okay, yes, I want this. I really do. Reason why I wanted this is, in truth, when I was looking at the original when I looked at the original Master Grade version of the Zaku Cannon, I was not a big fan of its overall colors or how it looked in particular with its detailed design. I wasn't feeling it, you could say. It really wasn't. Actually, let me pull up a picture of the a side-by-side comparison between the original and the kit that I'm building, that I'm going to work on right now. I was never a big fan of those little red detail on the shield, on the chest plate, on the legs, and all that stuff. It felt very odd, and I guess that's why I've never bothered to get it. However, when when was it episode 4 of Unicorn came out, the battle of Torrington, where they pulled out all the MSVs in all their glory, I was yeah, that's really cool. I do like this this variant, or this color scheme. The color scheme is almost identical. It really is. I was trying to see if maybe there was another variation of this, but looking at it side by side with the original, kind of looks the same thing. The only difference is it's just another color variation. Maybe there's more to this that I'm not seeing. I don't know. But going back to the original Master Grade, I think the original Master Grade, when it came out, let me see here. I'm actually going to Daylon's website at this moment and taking a quick peek. When did this come out? Let's see when it came out. Actually, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm looking at the pictures of it. Looks like I have to get the manual, because the manual will show, or the box art should show the year. No, I can't even see that. The thing is so small. I have to squint. Maybe the manual hasn't. Just going down a bit. Here we go. So, 2008. There we go. This is a model kit that came out in 2008. Now, is this utilizing the Zaku 2.0 inner frame, or is this a new inner frame? I don't know. I honestly do not know. Somebody's probably going to comment on this, but still, it is what it is. I like it. I like the design. And I'm definitely going to look into maybe doing a little bit of a color deviation here and there, depending on how I feel. I like its desert look. I really do. It has the same desert look feel that the Dom Tropin had, which I'm surprised Bandai has not released a Dom Tropin Master Grade. Well, you got the high grade. They never built the Master Grade. But Yeah, I'm gonna put a lot of love into this kit. I don't see any problems with it that may require me to do some changes or updates. However, we'll explore it down the road and figure out where we can go with this. But and anyway, so yeah, this is the third Zaku kit from my Summer of Zaku. Many of you guys chose this, so thank you for that. And of course, congratulations to the winner and winners for voting which kit I should make. So I appreciate it on all your support. But yeah, let's work on this kit and see how it looks. Okay. I do see some stickers here. These are dry. I think these are dry transfer, while the other side is regular stickers. I don't think this comes with water slide decals. But based on what I'm looking at here, so I see the shield on the right hand side. Clear parts for the eye and mono eye, I guess. Some vents and piping. Part of the legs, inner frame, of course. I see some rounds here of some sort. We have a tan color look to this, and also we have a spring, clearly for the tubing. There's the head part right there, side shoulder, chest part area. Some inner frame parts that I cannot make heads or tails. I see the inner frame of the head. There's the shoulder, the left shoulder plate for the spikes. That has to be for the crotch area. Skirt armor. Plate on the top. Okay, we have some green parts. We have a pilot, both in sitting and standing mode. I like that pilot though. The feet parts right there. Plating and the spikes. Good. There's the shoulder part right there. More of the feet parts there. And this is like a greenish tone. Oh, I think I know. So they're utilizing parts from the Zaku 2. I wonder if I just thought of something, but we'll figure that out soon. We'll explore it later on. All right, so I see a heat hawk. I see the bazooka parts. I see the I believe that's from the machine gun. Inner frame parts there. Piping. Hydraulics, joints. There's the fingers right there. Here's the oh, you got another one of this. Wow. Yeah, this is, I'm like right now thinking of something. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize this has. Alright, so we have polycaps. But here we have the white parts for not only the thigh parts here, but also the umbilicals, both in white and in gray, and tan. Sorry, in tan. And this is almost identical to this. And we also have more gray, more of the same piping in the middle of this, and another thigh part right there. There's the parts for the arms, and that's leg parts right there. You know what? I'm curious. Let me look at something here. Yeah, that's MSO6K. I'm looking at the lettering here.
MS06K, and that one's MS06K as well.
Let me pull these out for a second. I want to see if it is also referring to the other.
Let's see here, Master Grade 1/100 scale, version 2.0.
So this is the 2.0 inner frame parts.
Yeah,
These are parts for the for this variant.
and these are parts
For the 2.0, well, this one is the parts for the K.
Yeah.
Cool. Not, you know what? A long time ago, if I would have gotten this, I would have not figured this out. But I guess now, as years pass and me learning how to build kits and understand own, you know, the complexity and the overall detail, I now understand what to look at in the inner frame, in the plating, in the sprues, on like what parts are being used for this kit. But yeah, all right. Let me adjust the camera so we can look at the manual. So we have a one sheet here that represents the Unicorn. And clearly it's telling you which parts you're going to use and which one you're not going to use. So I know that was the white. We need those. I know that was the, I believe that's the tan. So we don't need these. And I know this was the other color, but we need that little part right there. There's going to be a lot of leftover parts here. Also, I'm going to omit those two here on this plate. We only want these two. We don't need none of that. Okay, I guess it's pretty much self-explanatory. We'll look at the color guide later on. Let's look at the kit as a whole on the manual itself. Well, this is not one of the newer kits where it was in English, but you could actually see the history of the Zaku tank, Zaku cannon, going from the 05, the 06F, the S, the 06R1A, the 06J, the 06F, which is basically the same thing right there. And then this J is the derivative to the K, then going to the M, D, V, and E. I'm surprised that Bandai never decided to work on the Zaku tank. That would people will go ballistic on that. Here's the rabbit type, which I believe there's another P Bandai kit that has the rabbit ears. Does this come with the rabbit ears? We'll find out soon enough. Here are all the parts that's required for this if you want to paint it, if you want to build it with the same, you know, basically the same thing as the other one. So there's nothing new. There's no new parts, just basically a new different color variation. So we have the assembly of the torso, the inner frame, and then the outer armor. How to set up the umbilicals for the piping that goes from the front to the back of the chest of the torso. The head unit. Oh, okay. So you do have the option of both single antenna or rabbit ear antenna. I like that. That's kind of cool. I think, didn't I remember that there was a high grade kit that you can get two high grades, one with the single antenna and one with the double antenna? But I may be wrong, so correct me if you can. So we have the arms. There's the right arm assembly. And then on the next page, the left arm assembly, the spikes. Then we have the assembly of the legs. Here is the kit, what it looks like with the color scheme that you see there. And interestingly enough, oh, okay, so interesting. So if you want to use the rabbit ears, you could change the color tone to an all green color. You know what? I gotta look online and see what it looks like with the rabbit ears. What's the color tone for the rabbit ear version? How the kit looks like, assembled and showing off armored parts. You know, exposed parts and things like that. That's kind of cool. I like that. Then we're moving on to the left and then right leg. Here's the other part for the umbilical and those parts there. Then we go to the waist unit, skirt armor. And then we put it together. And then on this next page, we're assembling the backpack with the single cannon, which I'm surprised that they didn't make a version with the double cannon. I know there's a high grade kit out there with a double cannon, I think, but here's the one with the single cannon. Then we have the Zaku machine gun, the classic one, the Zaku bazooka, and then the two big guns that goes on the side of the backpack that goes to the, you know, under the arms. And yeah, I think this mech can hold on to all the guns. How to open, close certain parts, how to ship things, where to connect it on an action base. And let us not forget the location of all the decals if you feel like using the standard decals that come with this kit. And this is what it looks like in the original form. However, this is what it looks like from the Unicorn version. And we already know what it looks like. Cool. Very cool. Alright. Let us talk about the painting.